So starting off with the project, I got the managers. In the initialize, all of the managers are the singleton, and they are to manage the different kind of different resources that are the model managers for model, shaders management for the shader objects, graphic object managers for the graphics, game object for game object, and so yeah, name are pretty much explanatory. So let's talk about the models. I got I got four models. I got cube as a model. I got diamond shape that is as a model. That is like a two pyramids on one another. I got pyramid itself as a model, and so I'll play my game right now. And you can use the mouse button left and right to zoom in and zoom out. So I got pyramids on the top and cube is on the second, and this is a shape that I have created. It's like a tube kind of a thing, but it's like a it's like a cylinder in an octahedral shape. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, so it's like a circle, and all the edges of the circles are connected with the things. It's kind of a tube or kind of a shape, and then I have this diamond kind of a shape. So those are the four models, and those are the four models that I have. And let's go into this. So I shifted all the structures into the main class, that is X, Y. I mean the struct for the vertices and the triangle index in the main class, and those are inherited by all the models. And each model has their own triangle list and the vertex data over here. And also I have I have a defined variable over here that uses the file system to write whole of the things to the file. Right now on this project right now, I'm reading all of them from the files, and they are not preloaded. I mean, they are not loaded, they are written to the file, and we are reading them to the file. The file extension that I have used is .dev file. That's just my created thing. And all of my models have like the one VAO and two of the VBOs. The first VBO is loaded with the vertex indexes, and the second VBO is always loaded with the triangle index. And so yeah, that's the thing with the things. Now let's go with the camera class. The camera class, I got a camera manager, and basically I have multiple cameras on the scene, and you can use the controls to move this scene. Let's go into the example. So basically, using your left mouse button, you can zoom in. Right mouse button, you can zoom out. Pressing your A and D, you can strafe around the scene. And pressing Q and E, you can rotate around your look at target, whichever it is. So talking about those camera movements, and yeah, pressing 1, you can change back to the different camera. And this is the second camera that I'm using. So let's have this one really far, and if you press 2, it's the second camera that is in there. You can switch around the cameras with the jerky movements, 1, 2. Alright, and yeah, I have all the models are loaded once and only once by the model manager. And in the the model manager, so basically I understand that it should have its own factory where you just put in the name and it should spit out the model for you, but given the time constraint, I was not able to have it. So right now I have my model manager use the load all models function to create all the models. So these are the 5 models that are created, and they are just created once, and all the models that you see in the project right now are the instance of those ones. So all these models are the same one using the different textures and different shader files and different graphic objects. My game object manager is having a, well, wait, give me a moment. Yeah, the game object manager has the uh, PCS root tree, and all the game objects are added into the hierarchy into this tree. And in the update function, it uses the iterator over here and goes through the each game object and calls the process. And in the process, we just update and push the world matrix up and set the graphics world matrix over here. So basically, it uses the hierarchical system that we are supposed to use. And using the texture manager, yes, I can hot swap the texture. You can see the cube over here that uses the brick, and you can press Z, and that will hot swap the, oh sorry, it was the brick one. So it was the brick one, and that hot swaps back to the duck weight. I'm gonna play it once more. So basically what it does is on the button press, it will find the game object that has the brick texture on it and hot swap that with the duck weight, and now it uses the duck weight texture instead of the brick one. The different kind of the graphic objects that have like different kind of shaders that I've uses is this one is over here in the red color is the toon shader. Basically just I found it on the Super Bible one and used and directed. They say it defines all of the colors into the like whole color into the 4 shades. I'll pull up the file so we can see that. Yes, in the toon shader, I have this texture thing. In the RGB, it's this one column represents the R, so it's like the lowest shade, medium shades, and the full shades of the R. And so basically, that's how you do it. If I change the values over here, it will be all green, blue, and that's for the alpha. And it uses it's just generated texture over here is in 1D like one dimensional texture, and it pushes that up and we can use that to clamp it. And so these are the nearest and all those min mag and wrapping things which are by default with this is what is set. Oh yeah, and I simply just forgot to brag about my skybox. But the thing is this, the skybox for the whole thing, the UVs are set to be in the opposite direction. So the whole thing is flipped up and there's this black marker in the between. That's the texture offset and I need to fix that. But given the time I was unable to fix it. But yeah, I tried to pull out the skybox thing and yeah, it failed up. So never mind. So that is it. Thank you and have a nice day.